It was a moment that felt like a miracle. On October 14, in Bhubaneswar, India, Japan's women's table tennis team stunned the world with an extraordinary 3-0 victory over Singapore, the former world champions, securing their place in the finals of the Asian Table Tennis Championships. Just a day earlier, they had survived an exhausting 5-game battle against North Korea, but rather than showing fatigue, they entered the semi-final full of fire and focus. 17-year-old Miwa Harimoto, 27-year-old Honoka Hashimoto, and 21-year-old Satsuki Fuji stood side by side, united in determination. Their teamwork, precision, and unwavering spirit were nothing short of perfection. Yet, beyond this triumph lay the greatest challenge of all, the final against the world's #1 powerhouse, China. This wasn't just another match. It was a battle for pride, redemption, and the future of Japanese table tennis. Before we dive into the details, let me ask you something. Do you believe Japan can defeat China? Can this young and fearless team rise to the top of Asia and dethrone the champions? Tell us what you think in the comments below. And if your heart is already racing for Team Japan, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, so you can witness every step of their incredible journey. Your support means more than you think, because every cheer, every word of encouragement, fuels these players to go beyond their limits. Let's begin with the opening match, Miwa Harimoto vs Su Linqian. At just 17 years old, Harimoto is one of Japan's brightest rising stars. Facing the 19-year-old Singaporean ranked 178th in the world, the odds seemed heavily in her favor. But as the match began, it became clear this would not be an easy victory. Harimoto dominated the first game with 5 consecutive points, taking it 11-4, but in the second game, Su Linqian's unpredictable arcing shots threw her rhythm off, and Harimoto narrowly lost 9-11. The crowd grew tense. Yet, instead of losing confidence, Harimoto adapted. She shifted her strategy, using clever push shots and looping drives to break her opponent's timing. With sharp serves and aggressive two-handed attacks, she stormed back to win the third and fourth games, sealing Japan's first victory and setting the tone for the team. Next up was Honoka Hashimoto, the calm, experienced defender ranked 11th in the world, taking on Singapore's ace, Zhong Jian, ranked 47th. From the very start, Hashimoto's composure stood out. She masterfully used her signature cutting technique to force unforced errors, taking the first game 11-7. Zhong tried to counter with her looping drives, but Hashimoto adapted each time, responding with quick transitions between defense and counterattack. The second game mirrored the first, another 11-7 win. In the third, Hashimoto opened with 3 straight points, forcing Zhong to call a timeout. But it was too late. Hashimoto had already broken her rhythm. Her mix of soft touches and sharp cuts completely neutralized her opponent's attacks, leading to a straight sets victory. The Japanese bench erupted. It was as if everyone realized this wasn't just about skill. It was about discipline, patience, and belief. Then came the third and final match, Satsuki Fuji vs the 14-year-old rising star, Lui Mingying. 1 win away from the finals, Fuji stepped onto the court with quiet intensity. She immediately used a clever blend of roll-up and forward spin serves, disrupting her young opponent's timing. From a 5-5 tie, she unleashed 6 consecutive points, taking the first game. In the second, her confidence soared as she attacked aggressively, winning 11-3. But the third game brought a surprise. Lui Mingying fought back bravely, even taking a 7-5 lead at one point. Yet Fuji remained composed, reading every ball with precision, turning the match around with decisive forehand attacks to win 11-9. The scoreboard lit up, Japan 3, Singapore 0. The crowd rose to its feet as Japan advanced to the finals in stunning fashion. The players embraced, smiling through tears of relief and joy. This victory wasn't just a result, it was a statement. Harimoto's courage, Hashimoto's experience, and Fuji's calm precision proved that Japan's women's table tennis team is no longer chasing the top, they are challenging it. Their next opponent, however, is none other than the mighty China, the reigning world #1. Every fan knows what this means. China has long dominated the sport, setting a standard that seems almost impossible to reach. But Japan's team isn't afraid. They're not just playing for a title, they're playing for something far deeper. For every young player watching, for every fan who believes in their spirit, and for every dream that started with a single swing of a paddle. Right now, in practice halls across India, these women are preparing, studying every serve, perfecting every return, pushing through exhaustion with one goal in mind: to rewrite history. Their message is simple: we are not afraid of giants. And that's what makes this final so powerful. Because victory isn't only about who's stronger, it's about who dares to believe when the world says it's impossible. As Japan prepares to face China in the Asian Championship final, the stage is set for an unforgettable showdown, the kind that defines a generation. So, what do you think? Can Japan pull off the impossible and claim the crown? Leave your thoughts below, your words might just inspire the team. And if you want to stand with them in this historic moment, hit that like button and subscribe so you won't miss the post-match breakdown and emotional behind-the-scenes footage. This is more than a tournament, it's a story of passion, courage, and hope. The story of three women carrying the pride of their nation. The story of Japan's rise against all odds. The dream isn't over yet, in fact, it's just beginning. The next chapter of Japanese table tennis is about to be written, and you're here to witness it. It felt like destiny unfolding on that night in Bhubaneswar, India. Under the bright arena lights, with the echo of bouncing balls and cheers reverberating through the hall, Japan's women's table tennis team delivered a performance that stunned the world. On October 14th, they defeated Singapore, the very team that once ruled the world 15 years ago, in an astonishing 3-0 sweep, advancing to the finals of the Asian Table Tennis Championships. For Japan, ranked second in the world, this victory was more than just a step forward. It was a declaration that this generation of players was ready to challenge the throne. Just one day earlier, they had endured a brutal 5-game showdown against North Korea. It was the kind of match that drains every ounce of energy, where every point feels like a mountain to climb. But the Japanese players, instead of showing exhaustion, came back stronger, sharper, hungrier. It was as if that struggle had ignited something inside them, a collective fire to prove that Japan's spirit burns brighter than ever. Standing tall were three players who carried the nation's hopes on their shoulders: Miwa Haramoto, just 17 years old, Honoka Hashimoto, the calm and tactical veteran at 27, and Satsuki Ofuji, the composed yet fierce 21-year-old rising star. Three players from three different generations, united by one dream: to bring Japan to the top of Asia. Now, all eyes turn to the third and possibly final match: Satsuki Ofuji versus the 14-year-old sensation from Singapore, Loe Mingying. The age gap was striking, but so was the difference in composure. Ofuji's presence radiated maturity and quiet power. She began the first game with clever serves that combined roll-up spin and forward motion, confusing the young opponent. The score was 5-5, then Ofuji switched gears, attacking relentlessly to score 6 consecutive points, taking the first game. The second was even more dominant, 11-3. But in the third, the young Loe refused to give up. She fought fiercely, her quick reflexes and youthful energy pushing Ofuji into longer rallies. At 7-5, it seemed like the tide might turn. But Ofuji stayed calm, patient, strategic. She waited for the right moment, and when it came, she struck. 3 consecutive forehand winners, each one landing with surgical precision. 11-9. Game over. Match over. Japan wins 3-0. The crowd erupted in cheers. The players hugged, tears in their eyes, realizing they had done it. Japan had made it to the finals. For the first time in years, Japan's women's team stood just one step away from the Asian Championship title. And now, the final obstacle stands tall: the mighty Chinese team, world number 1, a dynasty that has dominated the sport for decades. Every player, every fan knows how tough this battle will be. China's precision, their consistency, their confidence, it's unmatched. But Japan isn't backing down. This team isn't defined by fear, they're defined by belief. Every serve they hit, every point they win, carries the weight of years of struggle, training, and dreams. This is more than a competition, it's a fight for pride, for redemption, and for a new era of Japanese table tennis. Right now, as the players prepare for the final, you can imagine the scene: Miwa Haramoto training late into the night, her face dripping with sweat but her eyes burning with determination. Hashimoto reviewing videos, analyzing every Chinese player's style, searching for weaknesses. Ofuji practicing serves, over and over again, perfecting every spin, every flick of the wrist. This is what separates champions from dreamers, relentless pursuit, even when no one's watching. And that brings us to a question for you: do you believe Japan can do it? Can this young, fearless team conquer the giants and make history? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. Your words, your cheers, might be exactly the encouragement they need. And if you're as excited as we are to see how this story ends, make sure to like this video and subscribe, because the final is going to be something no one will forget. This isn't just about winning or losing. It's about what happens when passion meets persistence, when a team refuses to give up no matter how strong the opponent is. It's about pride, not just for Japan, but for every athlete who dares to dream big. As Japan prepares to face China, one thing is certain: whatever happens next, this team has already inspired millions. They've shown that age, rank, or history doesn't matter when your heart is strong enough. So when that final match begins, when Japan stands across the table from China, the crowd roaring, the lights blazing, remember this moment. Because whether they win or lose, they've already proved one thing beyond any doubt: Japan's table tennis team doesn't just play the game, they redefine it. The dream continues, and the story of Japan's rise has only just begun.